Okay, today we're going on a drive from Mildura to Redcliffe, but where's Mildura? Mildura's in Australia. It's in the southeastern corner in a state called Victoria. It's on the border of Victoria and New South Wales. It's about a 11 hour drive over to Sydney, which is the capital of New South Wales. It's probably a 6.5 hour drive down to Melbourne, which is the capital of Victoria. And if you're heading west, it's about a 4.5 hour drive over to Adelaide, which is the capital of South Australia. So we'll take a closer look at Mildura now. Okay, so let's take a little bit of a closer look at Mildura. Here's Mildura on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. It's situated on the Murray River, and the Murray actually forms the border between New South Wales and Victoria. Mildura's got a population of about 50,000, I think. It's a city in its own right now. It's just a long way from anywhere. So we're driving from here in Mildura, and we're going to take basically a southerly direction and head out to Redcliffe. So here in the middle of town, we're on Deakin Street. We're going to drive up Deakin. We're going to turn left on 15th, head out through the commercial area of Mildura, out through Irimple, getting out more into the rural areas, out through a little place called Sunny Hills, which has nothing there, it's just called Sunny Hills, and continue down all the way to Redcliffe. It's not far, it's probably a 15-minute drive. So that's it, Deakin, 15th to Redcliffe. Now, let's get on with it. So today we're just on a drive from Mildura to Redcliffe. Mildura is a northwestern Victorian town in Australia. It's a long way from anywhere really. It's about 6 hours from Melbourne. Melbourne is the capital city of Victoria, which is the state where Mildura is situated. But Mildura is right on the border of Victoria and New South Wales. But having said that, the closest capital city is Adelaide, which is about 4 hours southwest. Melbourne's about 4 hours southeast. Sydney is about 10 or 11 hours north-eastish. But having said that, Mildura is a pretty sizable place. It's got a large catchment area. It's the main town for all of the north western Victorian region, or the Mallee as they call it. And this is Deakin Street, the main street of Mildura. As I said, we're going to drive up to Redcliffe, which is only 15 minutes away. Left police station, the old courthouse, I believe. You'll see as we go along Deakin here. It's got just about everything you need, major shopping centres, car dealers, all that sort of stuff. Probably too big these days of my life. There you go. It's got the scourge of Western society. Traffic light after traffic light after traffic light. Mildura, I believe, was, well, I was going to use the word design, but I think that's loosely using the word. It was envisioned by a pair of American brothers, I believe. So the whole thing is laid out with no style, no imagination. It's just a bunch of rectangular streets. So it's anything running, I think, east-west is a street with a name. Anything running north-south is like 7th Street, 8th Street, 9th Street, 10th Street, 11th Street. And that sort of thing shows you that Mildura has grown up both sides of the Murray River, because on the Victorian side all the streets start with the river and then go straight to 7th Street and 8th Street and 9th Street. And mentioning the Murray is probably the biggest river system in Australia. It's called the Murray-Darling because the Darling River and the Murray River join at Wentworth, which is a town 30 minutes from here. And it flows through, I think, 3 states in total. And it's much fought after for its water for Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, so it must go through 4 states. And as usual, the government have stuffed everything up. There's too much salt in the water now, so crops are dying. And in the past, the river would run dry because Australia often doesn't get enough rain. And then the farmers take too much water out of it, so the river just runs dry and no one gets any. So they tried to fix that by building a whole series of locks, and I'll do another video on Lock 11, which is a lock right in Mildura, and at least now the Murray runs all year round every year. I can't remember the last time it ever ran dry, but it's still got its problems. Just crossing 13th Street, head down 13th to head to the hospital. In another fantastic decision, the old Mildura Hospital, they said it was too old, too small, need modernisation. So they closed and built a new hospital. The trouble is, although the town was growing and growing and growing, the new hospital was actually smaller than the old hospital. I don't think I know anywhere else that's ever closed a hospital and made it small, but there you go. Up on the left, Mildura palm trees. You can almost convince yourself you're living in a tropical paradise. For anyone who's interested overseas, there's the price of our petrol, $1.13 a litre. Diesel's $1.14 a litre. A litre for all you British-based people is 4.54 litres will go into a British gallon. But of course, the Americans, as usual, have done everything different. An American gallon, I think, is about 3.6 litres. So 3.6 by
$1.14, $3.50 American gallon, which is probably a bit pricey, but given what it used to be like, the Americans are starting to get stiff to their petrol as well. I remember travelling to America a couple of times over the years, and when I first went there, when was it? Oh, probably in the 80s. I think American petrol was like, I don't know, something like 10 cents a gallon or something, and ours was like 50 cents a gallon, so we were 5 times more expensive. But I suspect now we might only be 2 times more expensive, because poor old Yanks are starting to get beat up on their petrol as well. Massive shopping centres on the left here, Big W, Dan Murphy's, Coles, Woolworths. I think you've got 70 shops in that shop arcade there. Liquorland. They like their alcohol out here in the bush. Looking at everything we've driven through so far, you might be wondering why I call this the bush. It doesn't look like the bush, does it? Oh, see this street here? San Mateo. When I first got here, I mentioned that someone said San Mateo, and I was quickly castigated. It's not San Mateo, it's San Mateo. We're not bloody Yanks. But not everyone's as passionate about it as that chap was. Anyway, yeah, you might be wondering why I call this the bush. It's just because it's so far from anywhere. And you will see very shortly that even though we're in a big city by the looks of it, it's only a couple of minutes of driving, you're back out in the middle of the desert. Petrol, $1.11 for both unleaded and diesel. See on the right there, grapevines. You'll see a lot of grapevines around Mildura. Produce a lot of wine grapes, which get sent over to the wine region of South Australia for blended wine. It also produces heaps and heaps of dried fruits for, you know, sultanas and raisins and that sort of stuff. But you'll also see quite a lot of just dead vines just rotting. The whole bum fell out of the market, and I think a lot of people are just finding it cheaper to do nothing rather than try and grow much and come in and basically corner the market and drop the price and shield off everyone. I don't think that's a story unique to Mildura though. Grapes on the left, an old grape field on the right, becoming a housing estate now. I can think, I'm new here, I can think of about 6 or 7 grape fields that have been ripped up for housing estates. for anyone in America who wants to do everything differently. All these speed signs you're seeing at 60, they're actually kilometres. We follow the British and European model, it's kilometres per hour, so 60 is about 35 mile an hour. Coming into, I still call it Mildura, but the locals like to call it Irimple. And I don't know what they're called. Irimple. They're quite passionate about saying they're not from Mildura, they're from Irimple. Now that was Irimple, we've just passed. You won't often see an Australian town without a pub, but there's one. And I bet you if I look hard enough, there'll be one in the corner. Nice bottle brush trees on the left there. There's obviously bottle brush trees. They're really nice when they're in flower like that. And grapes left, grapes right. These all look quite healthy. They must be still making a bit out of them, but they're quite big. Wouldn't surprise me if they're owned by the conglomerate. Everything you can see up to the left, they're all great. As far as you can see to the left there, great. Grapes everywhere. Another sign, 100 kilometres an hour here, so what's that, about 62 miles an hour? Very flat, very dry. And that's what the whole region looked like before we dumped the big city on the top of it. I prefer it like this, to be honest. One of the good things to have a look here on the left, avocados, broccoli. One of the good things about living down here is because there's so much farm around here. Great fruit and veggies just right off the road. Everyone has their little stalls on the side, sell them for cash to outwit the taxman. Well, I shouldn't say outwit the taxman because every one of them, I'm sure, keeps a strict ledger and pays and declares every cent to the taxman. So there's no tax scamming going on at all, you understand? It's not as if Australians view tax avoidance as a sport, but some people have been known to minimise their tax in less than legal ways. A famous judge who once said, anyone who does not minimise their tax as far as legally possible is a fool. And I agree wholeheartedly. one of the biggest tourist attractions of Redcliffe is a tractor. A tractor called Big Lizzy. We're going to go past this bit so you'll see it. Australia likes to have big things for tourist attractions. We've got Big Lizzy tractor, we've got big pineapple, the big banana, the big avocado, the big prawn, although the big prawn, like I said, Big Lizzy on the left there. It is a big tractor, it's got a big trailer, hence its name Big Lizzy. Yeah, so big prawn went broke, but we got the big sheep, the big everything. The big mango got stolen last year, but as it turns out it was just a big promotional stunt. Alright, so that's it, that's Redcliffe, and that's the end of our drive. I'll put a little map up, I'll probably put it up before this so you can sort of see where we go, but I'll draw it, I'll show you where Mildura is in relation to the rest of Australia, and I'll show you the path that we've just driven. So until then, ciao, and thanks so much for watching. I'll make some more videos so you can see what goes on out and about here in Australia. Ciao.